A convict's sentence lasts longer than the time they are behind bars. Following their release from the prison system, the ex-convict is subject to further criminalization as people view them for their mistakes rather than their potential or who they have become.
Individuals released from prison are not allowed to live a free life once they have been deemed guilty, and they are forced to live a very different life than the one that they once had before. They face discrimination in the workplace, housing, and even from their family.
Some people don't find the discrimination against ex-convicts as an issue, as they see the situation in the way that the ex-convict chose to do the crime. However, they did not choose to have their lives completely altered after they leave prison, even if they change while in the system.
The treatment that convicts face once they leave prison is a violation of their human rights, and these treatments are sanctioned by our government.
According to the 13th Amendment laid out in our Constitution, those who commit a crime literally become a slave in the eyes of the law. There is no part of slavery that is in accordance with human rights, as we have seen throughout history. So why do we choose to repeat it?
Following convicts' release, their chances of being employed drastically decrease. 30% of Caucasian ex-convicts and 5% of African American ex-convicts receive a call back from an employer after applying for a job. Mind, this is just a callback for the job, not an interview, not a position.
31 out of 50 states further restrict an ex-convict's right to live by restricting them from having the ability to feed themselves. These 31 states practice a restriction on providing food stamps to those convicted of a felony drug crime, and 7 of these states have a full ban on allowing those to apply for food stamps.
Now think of what it means to be an American, to have a voice in the way our government is run. However, this right is stripped away from ex-convicts in 48 of the 50 states. These states place restrictions on the individual's right to vote. 3 of these states practice a full ban on allowing the ex-convict to ever vote again.
According to the Bureau of Justice, only 12.5% of employers said they would accept a job application from a convict. African Americans were 2/3 less likely to receive job offers. And just before release, 82% of ex-offenders thought it would be easy to renew familial relationships. But after returning home, more than half found it more difficult than expected.
Due to the systemic and societal abuse of ex-convicts after they leave the system, they are stripped of the lives they once lived before. It is difficult for them to achieve gainful employment, secure a consistent source of housing, and generally function in society. Overall, the minute someone is deemed as a convict is the minute they lose their lives.
But now we are left with one question. What can be done? Currently, there are many pieces of legislation and foundations that are dedicated to the protection of ex-convicts.
The Second Chance Act is a legislation that was passed with bipartisan support that would reduce recidivism, increase public safety, and assist states and communities to address the growing population of inmates returning to the communities. It essentially encourages communities to address the problem of increased population of ex-convicts and accept them back into society.
Ban the Box is a campaign that would remove the checkbox on job application that asks if a person has a criminal record. This would remove the bias and perceptions given when a person reveals that they have a record, and therefore allows for those people to have a better chance at finding a job with livable wages. We leave you on one last question. What can you do to defeat the marginalization of ex-convicts?